evening, everyone. How many of you really want to have a happy life? Is that darkness or because I really don't see all the hands? How many of you, thank you so much, how many of you believe that if there are some tools to create happiness in life, you wish to own them? Excellent. Thank you so much. So before we begin tonight, I would like to first do what I always do. I would like to acknowledge your being here for your incredible commitment to your own life. We all know what the possibility is in California, in Los Angeles, to spend an evening, a romantic evening or elsewhere. But you guys are really, really committed to your own life, to really go into a soul search to be able to create the beautiful dream life that you are committed to. So I really, really want to acknowledge you, and I appreciate your time and your trust that tonight it's going to be what? Tonight's going to be a good night. Give a hand to yourself, please, for being here tonight. So, as you all know, I am almost a doctor. When you make a mistake twice, it becomes reality. My name is David Toledano, for some of you who don't know me and never met me before. If you never met me before, it only means you have a beautiful life. Though you don't need anything in a relationship, in pre-marriage, in after marriage, and during marriage. But the bottom line is, I have spent the past 25 years in the area that is the most incredible and powerful passion that I have in life, and that is helping and supporting couples, pre-marriage, during marriage, and after marriage, to create a happy and beautiful life people always dream to have. And as I said on previous times, when I am speaking about marriage and relationship, I don't really speak about marriage. I really care for life. I really care for people to have the happiest life possible. Whatever we can do to create the happy life is what I am pursuing, and this is what I'm after. And the only reason I'm focusing on marriage and parenting is simply because if we spend 60, 70 years of our life in a relationship life, in creating a family, we might as well know what we're doing. And if we know what we're doing, we can create a healthy and happy life. Because the bottom line is that we are living life as a gift. And living life as a gift without happiness, without a real happiness, every single day of life becomes a waste. And that's my motivation, and that's my life, to create happiness. I started at home. As you know, I am married for almost 25 years, and Baruch Hashem, thank God a million times, we have an incredible family. We are blessed by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to have a beautiful, beautiful family. My wife and our 4 kids, we call them 4 angels, and 3 grandkids, 3 little ones who are the gem and the interest. You know, somebody said, what's the definition of a grandchild? Someone said that a grandchild is the bonus that God gave you for not killing your kids when they were teenagers. Any of you who never raised teenagers could not laugh, because it is an incredible task, an incredible work, but very, very rewarding. So, in the search world of trying to understand, to investigate what is happiness and what creates happiness. You know, you go in LA today, how many of you know the song, Because I'm Happy? You know, you see people going and they're dancing, and you feel this is what happiness is all about, because I'm happy, right? Everybody dancing and jumping on the street, and they believe this is what happiness is all about. Reality is that happiness, as surprising as it might sound, is a little rare item. It's a little difficult thing to reach in life, even though we all pursue to get it. We're doing whatever it takes to our life to really achieve, to really get to the point that when we get up in the morning, we have a huge smile on our faces. And how many people do you believe, percentage-wise, that can claim that they are simply happy people? And if you want to make a survey, if you want to make a research on your own, it's very simple. Whenever someone calls you, if you have a friend who calls you and say, hey, how are you doing? What's your name?
John.
John. Could you imagine if someone called John and say, hey, John, how are you? How are you this morning? And John simply reply, what can I tell you, Mark? You don't understand. Life is awesome. Life is beautiful. I'm really, really happy. What do you think Mark will tell you? Shut up. Like, what did you drink? What do you have in your cereal? Imagine expressing happiness. Try it out. Try it out on your own with 5 people tomorrow morning. Try to show and demonstrate happiness. People will not be able to look to your face. Like, what's wrong? People today are feeling much more comfortable when they ask you, how are you doing? How many of you speak Hebrew here? Great. People feel much more comfortable when you tell them, how are you doing? And they say, yeah, they said that. Somehow, somewhat, somewhere, it will be good. What about today? It's also good, but it can be better. And in the search of happiness, there are people who are looking to find happiness in many different sources. Some of us looking for happiness by money. Some people believe when I have enough money, I will be happy. And some people believe when I have enough power, I will be happy. Some people don't say it out loud. Some people believe when they get married, they will be happy. Wait until they get married. For some people have different ideas of how to accumulate, how to buy, and where to purchase this level of happiness that we all search. And I worked literally my entire life trying to understand what is the real formula of happiness. I know some of you might look at me and say, like, what does he know about happiness? We heard so much about happiness. What secret is he going to reveal we don't know about happiness? Well, I want you to know that what I'm going to share right now is extremely powerful formula of happiness, but it's only going to make sense to you, not if you hear me, not if you understand me, not if you believe what I'm saying, but only if you actually start to practice that very point. And after many years of investigating, trying to understand the difference between what makes people happy versus people who are unhappy. And here is what I found. And I'm very happy to share with you. And I invite you to look into it. And if you disagree, of course, I have absolutely no problem with that. The difference between people who are happy in life versus people who are unhappy in life, it has to do with the difference between people who are living their own life versus people who are living life on other people's agenda.
Can you say that again?
Yes. Happy people are people who are independently living their own life according to their own being, versus people that from day one of life are living life according to other people's agenda. And when I say about other people's agenda, I mean that from day one, we need to be aware of it. That from day one, we were created. From the first moment we came to this universe, we lost independence. Because every single moment of our life, we have been suggested what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do, what is nice, what is not nice, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate. And we were controlled. We were programmed by endless amount of sources that shape our current being. And when you think about, you might be terrified to believe how truthful and powerful it is. Because every single thing in our life is being determined by outside forces rather than our own. And from day one, as we grow up, our family, our parents put us where? When we reach 3 years old, we barely can talk and walk. They put us in something that's called what? A school. And what is a school? A school is a system that was created hundreds of years ago, that you put 25, 30 kids in one room, believing these 30 people can learn in the same way the material that who decided for them to learn? Someone else. And they call it a beautiful, for me this is the most favorite word in English, they call it a curriculum. When I came to America, I had a hard time with this, because to me, to learn English was a little difficult. So I heard the first time this word as a curriculum. And curriculum means a curriculum of nothing. And as I grew up, I realized it was not really a joke, it was a reality. Because there is some kind of a box of life since the moment we came to the universe. And we were told you have to go to school 8-10 hours a day, and this is what you need to learn. Says who? And every single thing in our life was forced on us. And we have to follow what other people had in plan for us. Think about it, it's quite scary. It could very be that each one of us were born to this world to do something else than what we do today. It could very be that one of us could have been the best musician in the world, but it happened to be that he spent his entire life in a golden cage called school. And if we don't like what's happening in school and we become troublemakers, I was a big troublemaker. Thank God not in America. But I was a troublemaker. Today, they found a solution to it. We create a system for you, and if you don't like it, we have Ritalin. We'll make you sit down, and we'll make you quiet. And if you don't like our system, we have a psychologist in-house that will help you to bow down to the system you never signed up for, voluntarily. When you think about the power of outside forces on our life, I really want you to think about it. When we think about the enormous power that the world and the society, the media, the whole world has over us, literally controlling us in a way that it's hard to believe we could ever get out of. And this is why it's very difficult for people to be happy. Because happiness starts from within us. Happiness starts from within us, meaning we have to commit to live life, our lives. And whatever I was created to live, this is how I need to live life, not according to anyone else's agenda. It is incredibly powerful how much we are being controlled and how much of our life is based on what other people think we should do. And if you don't believe me, I would like to invite you, just as a quick example, maybe 2 examples if you wish. I don't watch TV a lot. Simply, I don't have TV at home. I can't afford that. But I'm sure you guys can really relate to this example. How many of you ever saw a commercial of whatever, a yogurt? That when you see a commercial of a yogurt, you see next to the commercial, next to the yogurt, you see a poor, beautiful girl that has no money for clothing. How many of you ever thought about what one has to do with the other? Why, if they try to sell me yogurt, they put this beautiful girl right next to her? Do you really believe I am such an idiot and lowlife that I will buy this yogurt because of this girl? What am I? What do you think the answer is? You better believe you will. You really believe, you better believe you will. And you ask yourself, why is that? How is it possible? How is it possible that they're putting a girl next to yogurt and I will buy the yogurt because of the girl? But there is, you should know, I went to school for hypnotherapy for a year. I went to college here in California. And part of the course, obviously, is the law of suggestibility and the whole idea of the way the subconscious mind works. And when you pay attention to it, most of the messages that we get and being controlled by are stored in the subconscious level. And when you look on this commercial, when you pay attention to the girl, what is a girl with that kind of looking represent to you? What term? Pleasure. When you see this girl, what comes to your mind subconsciously is pleasure. All of these people do, genius people, what they do, they simply take the yogurt and associate it in your mind with pleasure. So all they tell you is yogurt means pleasure. And you go ahead and buy it. Because every single thing that we hear and we think and we heard and we touch affect the way we are reacting to anything in life. How many of you ever saw 2 American people arguing about Israel? Some people look and tell you Israel is the most difficult, most dangerous place to be. Israel is a cruel nation. Israel is a cruel country. What do you know about a person who speaks like that? What is he doing a lot in life? Watching CNN. It's very simple. He watched CNN, that's what he speaks. Do you think he has an idea? Do you think he knows where Israel is? Do you think this person had an idea where it is? We don't have an idea where it is. But you can hear another person arguing that Israel is the safest place in the world and Israel country is a great place, etc. All you know about this person, not that he's genius in the Middle Eastern education, all you know he's watching Fox News. That's all you know about people. Because when we are exposing ourselves to influence from outside sources, we are limited our ability to be ourselves. And the reason why I am emphasizing this point of happiness and independency tonight is because in our society today, particularly, we are experiencing a very big challenge in the world of pre-marriage. In the world of dating, which is applied to your life, to some of you, to all of you. Whenever today we are ready to make the move and to move forward, to build a relationship, to start a relationship, to build a relationship, we are discovering something magnificently powerful. And that is that everyone with a heartbeat is actually a marriage therapist. Everyone that has a heartbeat has an opinion of what girl is good for us and what girl is not good for us. Everyone are trying to play a role of being prophets to tell us what's going to happen in our life 5 years ago, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and especially when it comes to family involvement in our lives. I have been working with a lot of couples of many different communities, many different countries, and it's so interesting to see how much power our parents have in determining, in pushing us to live life according to what they want. How many of you ever experienced parents getting involved in the relationship you want to go into? I guess all the rest of you never dated. But it is a tremendous, tremendous challenge that whenever we are about to start a relationship or we are in a relationship, we can hear our parents to tell us what is the right one for us and who is not the right one for us. That's before, during, and after some kind of family investigations about this girl. And you might be surprised, there are some girls who are so disqualified for that son because the great uncle 10.5 million years ago cheated on the business of my third old cousin. You might laugh, this is a reality. People are giving approvals on boys and on girls on criteria that we never heard before. And we are going full forces with love, with honesty, with openness, with connection to the boy, to the girl. And the moment we introduce the girl to our mother, she's looking at this girl and she says, "Baba, that's not for you." "Mom, what do you see?" "Trust me. She's not for you." "Mom, why she's not for me?" "You're too young, you don't understand." And then we spend the rest of our life trying to convince to get this approval from the parents. And a lot of people are struggling with this concept. And I would like to emphasize this point tonight. Because the most important decision we are going to make when we are starting a relationship, I want you to please hear me well. The most important, most powerful decision you are going to make when you are about to date or when you are dating is one decision and one decision only. Am I going to live my life based on what I believe I want to live my life? Or am I going to live my life to please and to make other people happy? And those other people can be very, very close people to your life. And if you make a decision to live life according to what your parents want, it's perfect. It's great. Just know that you gave up on your own life. And sometimes it's even difficult to realize or to recognize that this is what you're doing. I remember a little too well a couple that came to me a few years ago. A couple came to me very, very happy. You know, all couples prior to marriage are all happy. I don't know why, but they all look like happy. They came to me and they said, you know, Rabbi, we're getting married and we are very happy and this and that. And I like to do whatever I can all the time. If you ever come to me, you'll see it yourself. I always like to erase that happiness from their face as soon as I can. As soon as possible. I mean, don't sell me those stories. We're very happy, we love each other, baloney. So I look at this girl and I said, you seem very happy about him. What about him? What do you like about him? What are you talking about, Rabbi? He's the greatest man in town. I love him. He's so great. I said, it's beautiful. What's so great about him? Now, when you say to somebody, what's so great about him? It might be the first time they think about what's so great about him. Like, really, what's so great about you? Like, we're only dating a year and a half. Like, really, what's so great about you? And why him and not another 5,000 guys in town? Like, what's so special about you? Then she came up with an incredible idea. She said, Rabbi, you don't understand. Do you know what I like about him? He is a family person. He is a family man. I said, really? What does that mean? He's a family man. What does that mean? Rabbi, you have to see how he treats his family. When I heard you have to see how he treats his family, I knew that the divorce will be way before the marriage. And I said to her, what does that mean he is a family man? He treats his family beautiful. What does that mean? You have to see, Rabbi, how he respects his mother. Whatever his mother says, he always respects. Oh boy. I thought either I am deaf or I drank something very, very expensive. Whatever his mother, and I looked at him and I said, is that true? Is that true? Do you really respect your mom that much? He said, of course. Like he was like upset. Were you questioning that? Of course, I love my mom. I respect my mom. I said, why? He said, Rabbi, my mom is the smartest woman in the world. I cannot tell you how that hurts. She's the smart. I said, can I ask you a question? And this girl is dancing. She's celebrating what he's saying. She like completely blind. Or I don't know, maybe deaf. I don't know what the story was. So I looked at him and I said, tell me something, sir. If your wife wants you guys to live in, I don't know, in Arizona, and your mom wants you to live in Los Angeles, what are you going to do? Your mom, your wife. He said, I will convince my wife that my mom is right. And I said, and why is that? He said, because my mom never made a mistake in her life. I said, my friend, you can pay me $10,000, find another rabbi to do the wedding. I'll make much more money on marriage counseling. And I am looking at this girl, and I said, do you hear him? Like I did not want to break it. This is not what I do. But I said, do you hear what he says? She said, yeah. Well, you don't find that beautiful? And you really could not believe your ears. But the truth is, they ended up getting married. I really gave 3 months to this marriage. I said to myself, 3 months, they're gone. And believe it or not, I was wrong. It took only 1 month. After 1 month, she called me, she said, I am very, very upset at you. I said, what happened? She said, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that in reality, this man has to marry his mom, not me? I cannot marry him and his mom in the same bed. He is close to his mom as nobody else before. And I want you to know, dealing with our parents in the relationship we want to build is a very challenging one, and I'll explain why. It's a very, very challenging one. It's a very challenging point. Number one, because of a mixed message of some terms and ideas that we have in life. I have to make it clear. In the world of relationship between us and our parents, the most important value Torah has and life should have has to do with the concept of honoring and respecting parents. Is that clear? It should not be tolerant, it should not be questionable, it should not be in doubt that the most important thing that we owe to our parents is love and respect, no matter what kind of parents we have. But a lot of people are mixing up what respect means. If I ask you right now, what does that mean? We have an obligation to honor and respect our parents. Can anybody tell me in one word what respect means? What does that mean? I owe respect to my father. I owe respect to my mother. What respect means? Practically speaking, I want to respect my parents today. What should I do? Listen to them. How many of you, what's your name? Ramin. How many of you, Ramin said that honoring and respecting your parents mean listen to them. How many of you agree with him?
But that can mean a few things.
Not too many people.
Yeah, I don't agree with
And I'm so happy. You don't agree with yourself too?
I don't agree with it. No.
You don't agree with that?
No.
Oh, great.
I was just playing along.
Oh, you're just playing along. I love you. Give me your hand. That's so beautiful. So, what does that mean to really, but you played, but some people took it seriously. Some people really agree with you. I cannot imagine that. What does that mean, respecting our parents? Yes?
Honoring.
What's your name?
Yoni.
Honoring, it's kind of a translation of respecting. What does that mean practically? I want to respect my parents today. What is today? Wednesday? Tuesday? Monday? I don't even know. Today is Monday. I want Monday today. I want to honor my parents. Tell me what to do, Yonit. I wake up in the morning at 8 a.m. where I want to respect my parents. My parents in the house, I want to respect them. What does that mean?
Make them breakfast.
Make them breakfast. What else, Yonit?
Agree to disagree at times.
Agree to disagree. Okay. What else? So I get up in the morning, I go to my parents, I say, Dad, good morning. I'm here to honor you and to respect you today. We agree to disagree today. What does that mean? Yes. What's your name? Jasmine. Help them when they ask you. Help them whatever they need. What else? Yes. What's your name, sir? Reuben? Yes, sir.
Not contradict them.
Not contradict them. Is that it? Please help me to understand. Is that in a different word means whatever they say agree? Don't contradict them? Obey them? Is that what you mean by not contradicting them?
You can disagree in a pleasant way, but not be too contradictory. To not say the opposite, or which will lead to an argument.
Allow me to understand what does that mean, not too contradicting. If your parents tell you to do something you disagree, should you do it?
You can suggest a different solution.
Yes. And if they disagree still? You go to Nike? And you just do it? You need to, please clarify this to me. Your parents say something that you want to contradict because you disagree.
Should
you listen to them?
It's not listening. It's the way you present your idea to them.
You present it with respect and your father look at you and say, I love the way you present it, I disagree with this. Do you do it? What do you don't like?
Not.
What do you don't like?
Real estate.
Real estate?
Yes.
What if is your father alive?
Thank God, yes.
Amen, obviously. You should see him always in health and enjoy. Amen, always. Your father comes to you with a lot of love and respect. He said, Ruben, stop real estate, go to be a dentist. Are you going to? You have no idea anything about it. You hate that. Are you going to do it because he wants that?
No, I'm not just because of that, but I won't. The idea is to not have an argument.
I can hear you.
You can present yourself and your opinions in a way which is respectful. You can have a discourse, but to say no, you're wrong, this is the right answer, is not respectful.
I just would like to understand if I got you right. You say do whatever you want to do. Don't listen, practically speaking, to what your dad said. Just do it nicely.
Present
Present it nicely, but at the end of the day, do whatever you want to do.
Not necessarily.
So please clarify. Let's talk about real estate and dentist. Okay, your father wants you to be a dentist. You have no idea anything about it. You hate that. It's disgusting. It's bloody. You don't like that. You see blood, you faint. And your dad insists, Ruben, I love you. My dream was that my son will be a doctor. Poor you went for this. This is going to medical school, and you cannot do it. What will you do?
The reality is I was wanting to go into medicine.
It sounds almost a setup, but go ahead.
And during college they said that we think you should go into real estate.
So I want to be a dentist, but I was suggested otherwise. So I prefer to listen to others rather than you.
So
You are my client.
I listened. I heard what he had to say. I went in and I made my own decision in the end. It wasn't forced on me.
Not forced, just
It
suggested.
was suggested.
And you were open for suggestions.
And I was open. I'm intelligent enough to understand that it might not have been the best decision, especially with socialized medicine as it is now. I see it's not the best decision. So I listened to what he had to say. He gave me some guidance, and I made my own decision.
Bottom line, your father wants you to do to be a shoemaker. Are you going to? Don't tell me in college you want to be a shoemaker. Because I'm going to lose it if you say that.
Well, if my father, well, it's maybe.
Maybe. There's a chance I love you and admire you. There's a chance, and I mean it, I'm not sarcastic. Do you mean that if your father wants you to be a shoemaker just to make him happy, you're going to say, real estate out, shoes? No, that's not one of my questions. You make a new question, Ruben. You know, I grew up a long time ago. You are in real estate. You have nothing to do with shoes. You don't even know what it looks like. Your father said, listen, I had a dream that my son will be a shoemaker. Just sit and fix shoes. This makes me happy, my dear son. It makes me happy. Do you understand? I love you. I raised you. I brought you to the universe. Make me happy. Go sell shoes. Are you going to drop real estate and sell shoes?
Me personally, no.
I'm only talking about you personally, not your neighbor, not your brother, you. You're not going to. So are you going to contribute to God's will? Make it easy, Baba.
It depends how you.
So you basically say you're not selling shoes, guys, don't get your hopes high. You're not going to sell shoes, but you're going to present it nicely and respectfully to your father. In an honorable, respectful way. But you ended up doing whatever you want. In a respectful way. That make sense? You can say yes? More or less? More than less?
I don't think I think our parents, it's not just us. Our parents do have a lot of experience, and we do need to listen to what they have to offer, what guidance they have to give us. It's not just what we think is the right answer.
Okay. Thank you so much. Give him a hand, please. He's a good guy. Okay, yes. You're there.
Can you remind me the question?
There is no question. There is no question. So let me tell you this. Let me make it They limited my time, otherwise I will have fun all night long. I really enjoy this topic, and I enjoy you. The first point that we have to keep in mind is that mixed messages between honoring and respecting versus listening. Because we do have the utmost obligation, Ruben, I cannot agree with you more, that we have the utmost obligation as the greatest value in life to honor and respect our parents. But taking care of our parents, helping our parents, give them what they need, support them in any kind, shape, and form they ever need, has nothing to do with listening to them about the directions of my life. Meaning to say, it's so important to keep in mind that it is very important to respect them. But respect and listening has nothing to do with one another. Because there are a lot of people in this world that I respect. As a matter of fact, to a very fundamental degree, I respect everyone. Every human being. A man, a woman, an old and young, a Jew and not Jew, makes no difference. In the world of respect, obviously respecting parents is a different level. But in the world of respect, we all respect every single human being lives a life. If you want even more, we have to respect animals too. In the world of respect, we have to respect. But respecting and listening to, if someone that I respect would like to take that respect and make me to obey him and live my life according to his agenda, good luck to him. So, again, this is very, very important that we have to understand that by deciding to get married to someone, if our parents not approving it, it has nothing to do with being disrespect to them. That's point number one. Point number two that happens a lot is when our parents are telling us that they are not, bless you, that they are not approving this girl or they're not approving this guy. Usually what happens, if you think deeply about it, usually what happens, that the reason why the parents have power to shake our decisions and shake our beliefs is nothing but because we already had doubts inside us. And what the parents do by questioning our decision and choices, they're not doing anything but pushing the buttons that just activating what was in us already. Because in the areas that we are strong, that we are solid, that we know what we're doing, and we know what we are not doing, nobody in the world can shake what we believe. Every belief, please hear it well, every belief that someone can shake is not because someone has power to shake our beliefs. Every belief someone can shake within us is nothing but a shaking belief we already had before this person opened his mouth. So that's very, very important. So how do we deal with this? How do we deal with, practically speaking, you're dating a girl, you're dating a guy, whatever you are, and you really feel that this is the one that you want to marry, or this is the one that you want to take seriously into consideration of building life with. And you bring this boy home, you bring this girl home, and your parent says, big no. There is nothing to talk about. What do we need to do? How do we approach them? Some of us might believe that if we don't have to listen to our parents, some of us believe, well, listen to your parents. Your parents, what did you say, Ruben? Your parents have more experience. How many of you believe that the experience of your parents in marriage has anything to do with your life?
100%, but just a little bit.
A little bit. How about let's rephrase the statement and tell me if now you agree 100%, not 99. How truth it is in your life to say that 100% of the experience of your parents is only valuable in their own experience. Make sense? So everything your parents know about their experience is their experience. Does it have anything to do with my future experience in life? No. You can learn from their experience if you want to live their life. Yes, if you want to live their life, you're right. So go to them, see what works in your life, do the same. Just copy and paste.
What didn't work? Parents are happy, you shouldn't learn from them? Yeah, or what didn't work in their lives, yeah.
By the way, I am not talking about learning from them. It is crucially important to learn from your parents. I'm not talking about learning. And you should learn from your parents. You should learn from anyone who is older than you by 1 day, by 1 hour. There are many people we should learn. By the way, you can learn from anyone. Most definitely from your parents. And I'm not talking about learning from them. I'm talking about taking their life experience, copy and paste to your life. That's what I'm saying. So because we have to understand, guys, it's pretty simple to understand. There are many different professions in the world. And if your parents are not doctors and your knee kills you, don't call your mom. I mean, unless you really like to whine and vent, and that's okay. If you want some hugs, call your mom. But if you want healing to your knee, call a doctor, call a knee doctor. And if you have a legal issue, don't call your dad, call an attorney. It's kind of a good idea. And if you have a flying issue, call a pilot. And if you have a marriage issue or relationship issue, go to a professional in relationship. Yeah, come to me, $150 per hour. It's cheaper than getting divorced, trust me. It is very, very important. If you are parents, this is what I would like to suggest to you, practically speaking, literally, and I've seen that working like a magic in every relationship, that there is a conflict between the generations and our parents or family. By the way, it's not always parents. Very often when I sit with couples and there is a family issue, I sit with people and it's unbelievable. You see the father, the mother, the oldest brother, the greatest uncle, the beautiful neighbor, the one business partner from Iran. And you can see all different kinds of people, and they're all sitting and they have an opinion. They have an opinion on your life. You get it? They have an opinion on your life. And what gives them the right? They're great uncles. I'm your older brother. I know what's good for you. You do what I say. And that's quite scary. It's quite scary because in order to live a happy, fulfilling life, we need to live our life. We are committed to write the book of life, our book of life, 1 page at a time. And if you want to live life according to other people's agenda, good for you. Just don't bring another person into this dangerous lifestyle. So if your parents are telling you they approve or they don't approve, this is what I highly recommend as a first step. As a first step, when your parents say, this girl is not for you, take a deep breath, don't fight, don't argue, ask for verification. Ask to understand, Mom, what do you mean by that? Because as much as I am advocating independency, I definitely agree that parents has a different point of view from their own experience. So the first thing before we reject anything, just listen to it. Listen carefully to what they have to say. Because they might have a point. They might have a point because it is usually what happens is when we are in love, people say love is blind. And very often we don't see anything. We don't see any, red lights, questions around the situation. And sometimes people who loves you, more experienced than you, they have a point. Look into it. Look into it. Try to analyze and to learn what your parent says. That's point number one. Point number two, if you analyzed everything, you investigated everything on your own, and you feel that your heart and your connection with this girl, this guy, whatever that is so strong and so powerful that you believe this is the one. Don't you ever fight with the parents. Go very, very respectfully, yet be very firm. Because some parents might have a PhD in manipulation. If you marry her, we're not coming. We're not. Mom and dad, the whole family are not coming. You're going to have to marry her in Vegas alone. How many of you heard that line before? We're not coming. And then you have to say to yourself, what can I do? If my parents are not coming, maybe it's a wrong wedding. This is a perfect moment to decide, am I living my life or I'm living their life? And even if we feel that by making a decision to marry this person we are disrespecting, guess what? You are not. As long as we do it, Ruben, I cannot agree with you more about the concept of how we present to the parents in an honorable and respectful way, my opinion, my plan, yet do your plan. Presented with respect, and if parents ended up really forcing you to change your mind by really threatening not to come, and they mean it not to come, I would say you can kill me for that. Let them not to come. It's okay. It's permissible. It is suggestible that we live our own life. If you are not confident and you are not solid about the one you're dating, that this is what you want to do, even if the parents don't say anything, don't do it unless you're really solid on it. But if you are solid on it and the parent says no, respectfully and honorably respect their opinion, give them the biggest hug and kiss, yet do what is right for you in a very honorable and respectful way. Because listening to the parents, as important it is in taking care of them, it has nothing to do with whom I'm going to get married, in what profession I'm choosing, where I'm about to live, and what kind of a house I'm going to buy. Get your own life based on whatever it's good for you, whatever serves you, whatever your journey of life meant to take you to. Yes?
That's a good question. You just mentioned that to do whatever journey in your life takes you to do and take your parents' opinion and listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for a situation where there's a Jew who wants to marry a non-Jew.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do in that situation? Your parents are totally against it.
When?
It has nothing to do with me, by the way. It's just a question.
Why do you ever dream that I would think it's you? Why did you think a non-Jewish girl will even want to marry you? Just kidding.
Non-Jewish.
I'm just kidding, brother. I'm just kidding. Okay, so what's your name again?
Joseph.
Joseph is asking, what if there is a different religion situation? You are Jewish, your candidate, your girlfriend, the one that you want to marry, she's not Jewish. And your parents said, what's that?
Then that's when you listen to your parents.
No, it's too bad if it already your parents' decision. Because that has to stop way before your parents involved even. Because we have to understand something. This is a very serious issue. That we don't need parents for it. But if the parents are telling you not to, it is a matter, not only religiously, it is a matter of disrespecting them. Not for the fact that you need to listen to parents, because we do, but also for the fact that getting married to a non-Jewish girl, you're basically changing the religion of your family. So you are affecting the family, okay? And if this is important to your family, it should be important to you. And obviously, without any, God forbid, excluding anybody, in the Jewish tradition, we marry Jewish girls and we marry Jewish guys. That's part of what we do as a tradition. This is what we do for thousands of years, okay? And the only thing is, somebody asked me once, I'll share it with you. Somebody asked me once, what are you going to say to your son if he brings home a non-Jewish girl? What are you going to tell him? Are you going to stop his happiness? Are you going to stop this love relationship? The truth is, this is what I said and this is what I'm saying today. If this is what's going to happen, if my son, I just want you to think about it. If my son brings a non-Jewish girl home and I feel bad about it, who do you think I'm feeling bad about?
The kids.
Myself. Because if he already reached the point of doing this and I somehow don't like it, the ultimate question is, what did I do in my life so he got to this point? So instead of really focusing on him, I'm focusing on the one that created that. And this is very, very important. So bottom line, should you listen to your parents if this is the case? Most definitely. The only thing I would add to it, it doesn't have to be because of the parents, it has to be a common sense Jewish tradition life.
Rabbi,
Yes, sir.
you want some love over here?
By the way, I'm done. Yes, what's that?
Actually, I called you a doctor.
I love that.
On accident.
Don't tell them how much I paid you for it.
You take curriculum. It was like an accident, but not really.
Yeah.
I think you're an incredible, like what we call diagnostician. I think you're incredible at diagnosing the issue. And
Can you please record that? He's complimenting me. Yes.
I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. And I think you nail something on the head. Me as a doctor, if I don't go ask my mom how to treat someone's knee pain, for example, that goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to people and ask for advice for things that you're vulnerable about, that you're unsure about, like you said, yourself. And I think that's a big issue. And the issue is, the things that are most vulnerable are sometimes the biggest decisions in life, and that makes sense how they go hand in hand. So the issue, I think, is that's a perfect diagnosis. But the challenge is the treatment. The challenge is how do you get yourself to have enough self-confidence, to be so sure, ultimately so sure where I am as confident in knowing the person I'm dating is the right person for me as I am knowing how to treat someone's knee who comes with a knee pain. Or for a real estate person to know the property they're going to buy that's the right property. That's a big challenge because it's not black and white. Loving someone is not black and white. It's so colorful and making something so subjective, objective, where you're, boom, this is right for me is the biggest challenge I think a lot of us face.
I love you and I love your question.
I love you.
If I have another 3 hours, I can answer that. But I will try to do it in a very, very short way. Because basically, what's your name again? Navid. Navid is asking literally the $1 billion question. We speak about being independent and being solid about what we want to do. But how do I get to the point? Is that what you're asking? How do I get to the point that I'm really solid about this? How can I really be sure that this is the right girl? How can I make sure this is the right one? You can't?
There is no guarantee. There is a certain.
There's no guarantee. So is marriage gambling?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Chapter 7 of my book is marriage gambling. Read it. I'm serious. Read it. It's right there. It's right here. Okay. I will answer you, Navid, in a short way, but seriously, if you read my book, it will save you a lot of money, okay, for coming to be solid about the relationship. But the bottom line is like this. If I'm dating a girl, and my question is she the right person? That means I am putting the charge of my life on her. That makes sense? But if you take responsibility to your own life and you say, whomever you are, as long as is generally speaking is common denominator, right? A normal person. Right. And you ask yourself, am I powerful enough to commit my life to make your life paradise? Now who are you shifting the power to? At that point it's not gambling anymore. Because the quality of my life, I can tell you right now, I'm married 25 years. The quality of my life has nothing to do, I married an angel. My wife is literally almost not a human being. I don't know what I did good in life or what she did bad in life. But I'm telling you right now, she is an angel of my life. Yet, our relationship, my life is not depending on her. My life is depending on my commitment to make her life a happy and healthy life. The moment I do it, it is only in my hands. I cannot give you power and to believe she's right. If I give you power, I'm gambling. Because what if you flip on me tomorrow? But if I have the commitment to make your life paradise, if my life is in my hands, I can be solid about this. There is no way to find the right one. There is a way to make that one the right one based on your commitment. And you know, in this place, you guys call yourself what? A soul search? Some people might feel that soul search means when I am searching for another soul. I would say the soul search is the inner personal soul search we do for ourselves. Because the moment I am solid, I'll make her solid. I'll make the relationship solid. I have enough power to make relationships solid. And how can I be sure I can do it? Because a relationship is a formula. Not only marriage. Every relationship is a formula.
One quick
yes.
question, and I know you're limited for time.
I'm okay, so you're the boss.
Yeah. This makes sense, yeah, but like, so assuming a lot of us share common denominators in this room, so the strategy you use can be applied towards so many people.
Mm-hmm.
When you say just one person, how do you just, how do you...
I firmly don't believe that there is only one person you can marry. Don't marry 2 or 3, it's illegal. I mean, halachically it's okay, just illegal. But I want you to know, I do not believe that there is only one girl fit to you.
So how do you know which is the one you should?
The one you decided that you're committed to do it.
Don't should all over yourself.
The moment you, what's that?
Sorry. He said don't should all over yourself.
That is true.
Oh.
The moment,
Something else.
I know. I thought so too.
How did you know I do that?
I think she did, but she changed her mind because she got scared. She got scared.
It should, because it's a really dangerous concept and it puts us in these traps and these boxes of non-reality. And another, like you said, like we lose power and we give our power to other people when we should.
The moment I take power into my hands to make your life the way I want it, it'll happen. Because you have to understand, relationship is a formula. Relationship in business, relationship in marriage, in parenting, in any area in life. Yes?
I have a question. So, I mean, you touched on a couple of points.
what you're committing yourself based on?
Well, what's that?
What makes me to commit my life to?
Well, I mean, if you make
Those values that you just speak about.
Now, you could then make an argument that if there's so many different people that we could connect with, and we do have a sense of obligation to our religion, to our lineage, to our ancestors, you know, you could make an argument that our ancestors had it much worse than us, much harder than us to meet somebody to form a life with. And here we are, just in this room, we got a couple hundred years. You know, there's thousands of potential mates that we have in the city, yet it's still hard. You know, it's much easier than it has been before, yet it's still hard. So you can make the argument, well, if you make a commitment to someone, you can make it work with anyone. If that's the case, why should you maybe take into consideration what society maybe wants? I'm just being devil's advocate here. Why should you take into consideration what your community, what your family, what the people around you might think is best?
You're doing a great job, and don't you worry about that. What's your name?
God.
God? I know. God, right? Do you know what God means in Hebrew? I mean in English? Huh? A wave. A wave. So you are making a great wave right now. My point to you is like this. Obviously, when I am committed my life to that person, what am I committing my life to this person based on? Obviously, you have to have a common denominator on whatever, on values, on relationships, on family, on religion, on whatever the background that you have. But I'm talking about more on a personal level, more on traits and characteristics, on connection, on love, okay, on relationship.
Those two might conflict at times.
I agree. But once, let me tell you, once the foundation is common denominator, religion, values, we are more or less on the same page.
So I think your argument is to restrict yourself initially based on what your family and religion and everyone wants for you.
No, not what anyone wants for you.
Whatever you want.
Okay, I will never use the words what anyone wants for you. That's giving up on life. Whatever you decided to adopt based on whatever you experienced, okay? But it's based on what you decided or what you choose, not based on what anybody else wants for you.
What is it? It's based on your upbringing. If religion
Absolutely not.
If religion was made a priority in your house, the way you were brought up, it might be different than if it wasn't. So
the reason why I grew up in a very religious house, okay? But I have to admit to you that the reason why I am practicing Orthodox life, it has nothing to do, obviously it helps, but the fact that I'm doing it today is because I chose that lifestyle. I learned that, I investigated that, I practiced that, and I adopted it to my life. Yes, it helps when you grow up in that house, no question asked.
we'll never know. We'll never know what you would have been.
If you, I agree, totally agree. Totally agree. But it is my choice today. I'm not being forced by anything, but by my faith. Okay? What I'm talking about, that there are many other people that can be a possible partner to you, it only means on a personal level. On the life that we can create, okay, on a personal level, on a relationship level. Not on those foundations that must be in place. If those foundations are not in place, I'll make it very simple to you. If you are a Shomer Shabbat guy, and that question comes endless times, you are a Shomer Shabbat, you are very strict about Shmirat Shabbat, and you are dating a girl who is not. She can be, and I'm telling you, she can be the most amazing human being on earth. She can be a perfect match to your life. Then the first Shabbat of your marriage, the first Shabbat after you get married, you're getting into a fight that it's unsolvable. You're getting into conflicts which are unsolvable.
Unless she sees you as being important enough.
Unless she bow down to that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if the values, the core values of life are not similar. Okay, so it has nothing to do with the personality. She can be the best match for you as a person. But after those common denominators and those backgrounds are in place, solid, now we're talking about me and her. Me and her can be more than one person. If we know the formula, how to create a healthy relationship. It's not a rocket science, it's definitely doable. Anybody else? Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
So I know we spoke about thank you, beautiful speech. I love the intro. I love how you translated and got into the whole marriage thing. But you talk about the formula. What is the formula?
What's the formula on relationship?
Get the book.
Get the book is one solution. It's one solution. The other solution a little more expensive. Is just give me a call. But I'll tell you something. I'm debating with myself right now because on one hand, I really wish to give it to you. On the other hand, I will not do justice to it if I would just share it with you in 5 minutes. But I'll give you something because I love you. Just a little bit, right? Okay. It's for me? Thank you so much. Thank you. Who is this old man? Thank you so much. I will treasure it. Thank you. It is. She just drew my face. It's beautiful. But she made it like I look like fat. But you know, I have a little daughter. She's 7 years old. I said, Esther, do I look fat? She said, Abba, you don't look fat. You're just simply fat. You don't look fat. So let me tell you this, and it's something that it really works everywhere you go. In every relationship in life, with any human being you meet on the street or at home or at work or family or marriage or whatever else, wherever you're involved in a relationship, I would summarize it to you in 3 components. By the way, I did it once and somebody said, are you Israeli? I said, why? He said, you are the only one that, only Israelis do 3 like this. I never knew that. I mean, some people do 3 like that. I mean, Israelis do that. I don't know why, but they recognize that by Israeli. In any case, there are 3 components to any healthy relationship with your parents, with anyone. And those 3 components called study, accept, and cater. What does that mean? When I am in relationship with you, the first thing I need to do is to study you. To simply watch you, see how you react, how you behave, what you're sensitive to, what makes you happy. Literally a study on you. What you're sensitive to, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you angry, how do you react when you're hungry, how you react when you're tired, etc. I need to study you. And after I study you and I know more or less who you are and what your needs are, the second step has to do with accepting. And accepting, it's a big topic. Because, accepting means allowing you to be who you are without a desire to change you, while I cannot relate to any of your needs. That's acceptance. Acceptance does not mean I'm such a great guy, you're such a low life, but you know I'm such a kind human being, I'll accept you. No, it's not. That's an arrogant acceptance. Acceptance means I allow you to exist the way you are without a desire to change you, yet I cannot relate to any of your needs. I don't understand your needs. I am married 25 years. I can tell you that 90% of what women are, I cannot relate to. I don't get it. I don't understand, you can kill me. If a woman goes to a wedding with a blue dress and she finds another person having the same dress, it can be a world war disaster. I'm going home to change. I don't get it, and I don't blame it. I'm not trying to understand that. Do you ever go to a wedding with a black suit?
Yeah.
Did you ever get a heart attack seeing another guy with a black suit? Did you even notice that another guy had a black suit? Did you ever notice you wore a black suit?
Maybe if I wore a vest, maybe.
Some people tell me, I like your tie. I don't even know I have a tie. I'm not joking. I don't even know I have one. I can wear a tie all day long and black my eyes and ask me, what color is your tie? I might not know. Now I don't need to understand you to serve you. That acceptance. Allow you to be who you are. And the third one is very simple. Just cater to it. Without any judgment. Learn to cater. Yes, sir.
That was very beautiful because before my belief system, when we touched about this like 3 weeks ago, was in every relationship, whether it's business, friendships, whatever, just have to have mutual ground between the two. Someone gives, someone receives, vice versa. But now you've changed it, and I thank you for that. And the last question to add on this, and I'm done for the night, is
Don't worry, I'm getting paid hourly. Go ahead.
the whole question is living with someone prior to marriage, doing it or not to do it. To find this whole study of how you guys live with each other at a certain place, then accept it and then cater to it. So do you do that? Should you do it before or not?
I got an order not to answer you. With a relative of yours. I love you too. Bottom line, I don't obey rules. I'll answer you. Because I do what I want to do. That's the story of my life. I have a PhD in rebellious. So here's the deal. I have two hats on my head. One is a human being and one is a rabbi. From rabbinical Jewish tradition, living together prior to marriage is a very bad idea. If I have to answer you from a religious point of view, I would tell you most definitely, don't, it's not a good idea. But if I have to answer you as a human being, that has nothing to do with religion, I can tell you clearly that before you get married, don't you dare live with her. Have a beautiful night.